You represent the Killeen area, which has Fort Hood, which is one of the largest military bases in
it. Is the largest.
It is the largest. So
yeah.
You are a military veteran, also a mom and also a wife and those things. But what I thought was interesting is that the incumbent is from the agriculture world. And so to represent that area where there are clearly tons of military families, who better than someone who comes from that? Not only from the child perspective, you grew up in a military family, but you also deployed yourself. You were also in the military. Wouldn't that make you the perfect representation? So what is it that's missing, that isn't being heard, that isn't being carried out? What is needed from those military families that they're not being heard, and it's not being brought to Austin, the capital, their desires and needs? What is it that you're going, where's that blank that you're going to fill?
Too easy, transparency and listening. And that's what I've been doing since running my campaign. You have to get out in the streets to listen to the people, because I constantly say, if you haven't felt the pain that the individuals are suffering in your district, then it's really going to be hard for you to make a change. And transparency, just staying into communication with the constituents and being connected with the citizens here. But if you're not here listening, you can't take their issues to the table. And that's the only thing that they're asking for here in House District 54.
To actually listen, right?
Yes.
So that brings me to what caught my eye about your campaign is when you were on the front lines kind of about and protesting and holding up signs and making people aware about the case surrounding Private Vanessa Gillen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right, but Private Vanessa Gillen, who her case has rocked the nation at this point. She went missing as a Fort Hood soldier, and basically it felt like, a lot of people felt like the Fort Hood administrators are trying to sweep it under the rug. Her family's not trying to let that happen. People like you are not trying to let that happen. There's been now things coming out about her filing sexual assault reports against a certain other soldier who is now who was a suspect, who has now committed suicide. This is a big case. And like you said, the transparency and listening, a lot of people felt like they weren't being listened to, including her family.
Right.
You tell me what you think about this case and what you would be doing differently.
Well, as a soldier, we always recite our warrior ethos. I'll always place the mission first. I'll never quit. I'll never leave a fallen comrade. And because I lived to this for 24 years, now is the time to react. Mm-hmm. And as a leader, you have to have that two-way form of communication. And that's what the family, they stated they were not receiving from the leadership at Fort Hood. So when the case came here, I was approached, and as a veteran, she's a soldier, I felt it my will that I needed to be there to speak for her in her absence, because I've always recited, I'll never leave a fallen comrade, and that would make me a hypocrite. But the family, they're looking for answers. We need to ensure that justice is served on her behalf, because that's the right thing to do.
Right. What do you think, you having served in that position or in the military in general, and I have a lot of friends and family who also have served, and some still do. And they can't tell me everything, obviously, but there's this overarching understanding that they kind of always hint to, that you can't really shake the table. You can't really go in there making demands and saying you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that to your superiors. But now that you're not in that particular position, what do you feel, where was the ball dropped? And how do we, the citizens, help with situations like this? We're watching kind of like superiors kind of flex their power and what can and can't be done within their ranks in the U.S. military. And it kind of just makes us citizens feel hopeless. Like, well, dang, like y'all just gonna let some girl go missing and possibly be dead and nobody's gonna do anything about it? What can be done? How do we prevent this?
Well, the leaders first, they have to listen to the soldiers. And I'm not sure if the soldier reported her incident as far as to there's a sexual harassment advocate within the units.
Oh, okay.
And yes, it's titled SHARP. So those are located within every military base, the Army base, regarding sexual harassment and assault. But our leadership have a responsibility to take action. And regarding Vanessa's case, we just need to continue to push for justice, and her family deserves the answers that they're constantly asking for. What happened to their daughter? The mother informed me that she wanted to receive her daughter in the same manner that she gave the Army to.
Right.
And it's just heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. And I'm hoping that if you are in that position as the representative of this district, that, you know, I don't know how much pull that a politician can have in the U.S. military, but I hope that something differently can be done.
Yes, you have to react in a timely manner.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot just sit.
Right.
And I have been in a situation, Natasha, where my soldier took his life in front of me. And I stayed in contact with the mother. And it's something hard to deal with. So you must stay in contact with the family so that you can ease any rumors or miscommunication, just to put them at ease. Because as a mother, you will want to know what's going on with your child.